AKA Mom. Thanks, Mom. Hello, friends. Welcome to User Friendly, the show where Roberto and I talk about our favorite stuff on the internet, all things geek, and all things tech.
Not all things.
Most things. Many things tech.
There you go.
My name's Everyone Elijah. You might know me from the small podcast that talks about all things Apple, the Cult Cast. I'm here with my friend Roberto Hoyos.
Roberto Hoyos here from Throwboy Pillows. You may know me from your such pillows as the chat pillows, this famous subscribe pillow, and
the ICEO.
The ICEO.
The man behind the ICEO pillow.
And other such things. But yes, user-friendly episode 53?
50. Come
on.
We're almost to a year, aren't we?
Episode, I didn't list it last week. Episode 53.
Wow, so that means next... Well, wait a second. There's 52 weeks in a year, right?
Yeah.
How does that... Dude!
Did we cross a year? No.
I think we are.
How did we do that?
That means last episode
was our yearly
episode.
Did we really? Wow, yeah, we did.
We did.
We started in January. Whoa. Check us out, man.
That's two.
Cheers
dude,
to that.
Cheers. Now I wish I would have had a beer.
Too bad.
But that's the only one I
gave
had.
Me his last one.
And I'm such a good friend. I gave it to Roberto. I'm drinking tea though.
It's only 9 a.m.
Yeah, it's only 8:30 a.m. So I have plenty of time to drink.
Wow, so 1 year.
Wow, isn't that crazy?
Flew by, man. We actually, you know what's funny? I'm wearing this sweater in our yearly episode.
Was I wearing this shirt?
Maybe.
We should have done a... Do you remember, for the original watchers, we used to do sketches at the very beginning. We stopped doing that real fast.
Yeah.
Because it was so much work.
It took a lot of time.
It took a ton of time. Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Some old viewer pointed that out. He's like... Best intro ever was the one where we did the Sunny D spoof.
Oh, right.
That was fun.
Well, actually, let's take a moment to look back then. It was episode 3 that we did that? Episode 3 that we did the Sunny D. We should watch it real fast.
Oh my god. I don't want to, but...
You're going to see two guys looking incredibly gay right now.
Wait, is that how it starts?
Yeah, it might.
Oh my god.
Oh, dude, this is great.
All right, here's episode 3.
It.
Make it radical.
Oh my god.
Remember any times we had to do that?
Yeah, a bunch.
All right, let's see here. We got some cola. Got
That's
some
a really good shot.
User friendly. All right.
Oh my god. How are we not doing those anymore? That was awesome.
That was great.
That inside shot, I'm proud of me for that idea. That in the
Was
fridge.
that your idea?
I
feel like
all the setup shots
No, dude, I think that might have been mine.
comes from
I'll
my
be
cinematography
honest.
brain.
Yeah. Oh, except for the last great one. I think that might have been an Airphone Elijah original shot. Cinematographic shot. Yeah, we do need to do more of those.
Yeah.
We should, when it starts getting warmer outside, we should throw one in every once in a while.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to hear if anyone has been watching from the beginning.
Yeah.
There's got to be somebody out there who's been
52
watching.
episodes. It's pretty darn long.
Yeah, it's crazy. And
I think when we started User Friendly, which was super unplanned, it was just like,
Yeah.
all right, I'm coming over Wednesday.
we're just gonna start doing
figure
it.
out what we're gonna
exactly.
do. And then I think that same day you're like, oh yeah, I just taped this new thing I'm doing, the Cult Cast. And it was
Oh yeah, we started them at about the same
right
time.
at the same time. So so that worked out.
Yeah, the cult cast, that little cult cast, that worked out okay.
Mm-hmm.
And when we were first doing this show, we used to have I remember 10, 11 watchers, viewers, and we just kept doing it, and I think now we're at 20. So that goes to show if you work hard, you can double your business in 1 year.
And they're all here right now.
They're all here. And most of them are animals, stuffed animals, and they're watching us. So, how many viewers are we at now? We pretty routinely get 500,000-600,000 views.
Something like that.
Somewhere around there.
Somewhere and around there.
We're popular guys, and we obviously have really entertaining things to say.
Yeah, so thank you guys for watching. We'll see you next week.
We'll see you next time. You know what's funny? We forgot about oh no, and it's January. We didn't do our 50th episode, like anything for Cultcast. Like we did it.
You too, huh?
And I was like, how do I forget this? But we have our year coming up.
It's so hard to plan ahead sometimes, you know, because you're just like, I just show up and then we figure out what to do, you know.
Yeah.
The most prep we do for the show is we'll bookmark things during the week.
Yes. Yeah, it's true.
And then we come together and do you have any topics? I have this.
Sometimes we sit here like
sometimes
for an hour, looking for stuff to talk about. And sometimes it's slow, you know, like this week, last week, next week, and I think for the next few weeks, it's just slow. Like January and February are slow tech months, and there's no Apple news, so we got to get creative. But I'm really looking forward to on the Cultcast. I think on our yearly episode, I think we're going to just do a look back and just kind of like, I don't know if we're going to revisit any shows, but just talk about like how we all know each other, and how the idea of the Cultcast happened. And it's just basically going to be me taking credit for a lot of stuff, and then Buster and Leander getting
nodding.
Mad. Yeah, nodding, and you won't hear them or saying it or see them nodding. So anyway, we do actually have a show planned for you guys.
Yeah.
Oh, but before we actually talk about this, one last thing about user friendly. So I was thinking just now, I was like, if I had to say one segment of one episode that you really liked the most, would you say it was that?
Oh, okay.
Sunny D one? Because I actually had another one in mind.
I feel like there was
really
something
awesome.
we had. I feel like we laughed a lot during maybe the pie day episode where we ate the pie that like on.
Oh right.
That was kind of fun.
I liked our Halloween, the beginning of our Halloween one.
Halloween was
that
good.
one was really funny. I thought.
Well, when we both played Mortal Kombat, that was kind of good.
That was fun. We should do more video game ones.
Video games.
Video games. Netflix.
We're just a rehash.
We literally
of
just
a dead network.
We just copy all the best segments of our favorite.
Do you know? Hold on, I don't mean to cut you off, but I was thinking about that. How we get thrown in with a Dignation type of look and feel or whatever, right? And then I was thinking to myself, I was like, yeah, but that is such a like simple idea. Like it's almost like elemental in the simplicity of that idea, where we're talking about tech, we're sitting on a couch. That it's almost like it's almost like a talk show. You know, like Jimmy Kimmel and you know Jimmy Fallon and you know David Letterman. Like they're all the same sort of thing, but they all exist in their own world because people like. I like David Letterman, you like Jimmy Kimmel, you know, like, or Jimmy Fallon, whatever. So I was like, I don't really care about the fact that we look like, to the outside viewer, we might look like that, because we're not going to be that. And there can be room for a lot of other people on their couch doing what we're doing. You know?
I forget who said it, but there's an old saying out there that there's always room for one more good one. You know, it's like, that's kind of how I consider us. Like, we're obviously high quality. So there's going to be space for us. But yeah, I mean... Dignation definitely were the pioneers of that style of podcasting when mixed with like drinking and just like the low production value and like just talking about tech and stuff. I think that's really where the two were really kind of new, where it was like tech and then the couch.
And we often say how a lot of those people that were the beginning of podcasts, there's a lot of new viewers and listeners that have no idea about those people, so their first exposure to podcasts could have been us, you know?
Absolutely. When did Dignation come out? Like 2003?
No, 2006 or 7, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, they did it for how long? 6 years?
Yeah, 6
and it ended like what, a year ago now?
It's a couple now, I think so.
Has it been a couple years since that ended?
I think so.
Wow. So that means 2011. So yeah, you're probably right. It was probably like 2005, 2006 that they started it. So, and podcasts weren't a big thing back then, really.
No, they started when the podcast directory of iTunes came out.
Wow.
So yeah, they were like that goes to show, you know, timing is everything for a lot of stuff.
Yeah,
right?
that's really true.
So anyway, let's get into
long
the real
story
show.
short, thanks for watching our podcast.
We're still here.
We're gonna stop now. Okay, so the first story of the day. With 1,502 digs. You probably heard the buzz about this new mail app for iPhone. Mm-hmm. Maybe you didn't.
It's called Mailbox.
It's called Mailbox. Fun aside, Eddie Q's son, the very handsome and not at all nerdy looking. I lost the picture. What's his name? Gerald? No.
Freddie
so Eddie
Q.
Q's son, Freddie Q. Like father, like son. So there's Apple executive Eddie Q, works for Apple. His son, this striking young gentleman right here.
I really did think it was a young picture of him.
I thought it was too, yeah. So this guy works for Orchestra, the developers behind the Mailbox app that we're going to talk about. Mm-hmm. So Roberto and I, admittedly, actually don't know a lot about this app. We've heard it kind of blogged about a ton this week. So we're going to watch this video. You go watch it with us, and then we're going to talk about why everyone's freaking talking about this.
Here we go.
All right, let's do it. There better be naked ladies in this.
Actually, I think there is at the end.
No wonder it's popular. Oh my gosh, look at that, it scrolls.
Feels like a Portlandia video. I think that means it was... Okay, now I'm confused.
So apparently all you do is swipe stuff around. Oh, well that's cool.
So you can sort into when you're gonna respond to something. You can sort if you already read it, get it out of the way. You can even compose emails.
Wow, you can send emails from this app? Oh my, is he reading his emails in this app?
Yeah, and then he's saying later today.
Ah.
You're all done. It's a chick.
Of course. Maybe not. I think that's his son right there. He's gonna turn around, that's gonna be him.
Actually, I couldn't tell if it was a guy or girl for a second there. There you go, Earth. What do you think?
The song. So that was actually pretty cool.
So it's taking the whole inbox zero thing and putting it around, centering,
which I'm so bad at,
around
and I don't think this is gonna help me.
An application to help. You know, basically, inbox zero means that you have to delegate like what actually comes into your mailbox right away. You know, like okay. This, respond. This, okay, that's junk. This
is an action associated with it.
Yeah, everything has the action associated with it rather than just, like a lot of people, they'll leave everything in there or they'll, just have no kind of flow to how when they're going to respond to things, which I've definitely done. I mean, it just depends. Like a lot, I don't think everyone really relates to this until they... maybe they start working for themselves, or maybe they take on a job where you communicate an email like a ton. But I think that there's a big segment of people that are like, I don't understand why do you get so much email? Why do you leave stuff in email? My girlfriend does not do email habits like me or you. Like she deletes email, like that kind of stuff.
Wow. And
I'm like, I haven't done that since I was like 13 when I had an email box, right?
I rarely delete emails. Only like emails from like vendors, like retailers or something.
But that kind of behavior where you just have literally nothing in your box unless it's new, I don't do that at all.
People don't understand. So this is actually a great conversation. So I know people that have, I think most people, one email account.
Sure, yeah.
Right? And how many do you think you have?
At least 9 or something like that.
I would say I'm probably in that same area. I have a Gmail account. I have some Mike T's email accounts. I have some personal email accounts. I don't even know why I have all these different emails. I just have like this weird schematic of how I think emails are supposed to get to me.
Yeah.
And I ended up with all these accounts. So, and then I have all these emails coming in from like Amazon and Newegg and all these retailers who I've given my information to. And like I get so much email now. I probably get I probably get 200 emails a day.
Yeah, see, that's crazy.
That's crazy, and that's less than I used to get. So I recently went through and unsubscribed to every email. I'm like, if I haven't clicked on anything in this email in like 6 months, it's going. I'm gonna unsubscribe, and that cut my email down a lot. I was getting like 400, 500 emails a day
from that crap.
Yeah.
Or like half of it was
I would say most of it. You know, it's like for instance,
you went Groupon crazy, man.
No, I didn't. But Groupon is a major offender, right? Because you sign up for Groupon, and then all of a sudden, you start getting Groupon vacations and Groupon getaways and Groupon food and Groupon Pampers and Groupon elderly products. It's like, I didn't say you could send me all this stuff, but since you signed up for their email list, they're like, oh, well, you must want to hear about us from all our new products.
The shitty thing about it, too, is that I still have a or it sounds dumb, but I'm still in the subscribed list for Ticketmaster, and I haven't seen a Ticketmaster show in years that's made me want to go see it, right?
Yeah.
Because most of the time I'm going to like a little show or like a bar to see a band. I never go to like our big stadium here to go see a show. Like very rarely.
And I guess that's kind of like what Ticketmaster.
But I'll just leave it there just in case, you know?
Yeah.
And there's a bunch.
Well, that's
of
what I used to do,
yeah,
and now I'm like
situations,
done.
Right?
And
yeah. And I did the same thing too. I got really fed up with Living Social emails and Groupon emails, so I axed those a while back too. But I still don't get that kind of volume. I mean, I get it for my business. This is the majority of what I get. But even still, my habits of when a really important one comes in, typically in the morning with my eyes half open, I'll look through my email and I'm like, oh, okay, I need to do that. But I'll click on it and I'll read it, but I won't do anything about it. And then later on in the day, I'll have my coffee and I'm like, okay, crack my knuckles, sit down, email all these people back. But that's not very often. Like, I'll let email go by for days and days and days, you know?
Dude, me too, actually. I have emails that I'm like, sometimes it takes me like 2 weeks to get back to you because I just get buried.
Yeah.
And this whole idea that you're going to organize them and blah, 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 and I'm going to answer this one later. I'll tell you exactly what would happen for me. It would pop up with a reminder, and I'd be like, oh, okay, I'm not going to do this now. And then eventually, I would stop using the app because it would keep reminding me of all this crap that I don't want to do. And I'd be like, I don't want to do this anymore, you know? And then I would just go back to mail.
That's like a lot of stuff, man. It's like these apps, they give you these ways of doing stuff, but it's almost like working out if you're not ready to start working out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you could have the best tools or trainer at your disposal, but if you don't really want to do it, you're just going to find excuses not to do it.
It's like people that buy sweet guitars or really nice camera equipment or any of that stuff, right? But it's like, and they think that buying that equipment is going to make them get into that whatever. But it's like, dude, no, you have to get into it, and then when you actually need that kind of equipment, then get it.
But arguably, this was probably created from a team of people that have these problems, and there's lots of other people that probably have these problems where they want some sort of system of filing their email, and it's probably going to work really well for people because it's a really good UI.
Well, it's going to be free too, right? We didn't even mention that. I think it's going to be free
right now, as far as I understand. You make a reservation, is what they call it, and then they'll email you when it comes out.
So it's going to be integrated with Gmail.
So you send them your phone number, and they'll send you a message when it's out or something. I'm not really sure. It just says they'll notify you.
Dude, I should make like a New Year's resolution to cut down to like 2 email addresses.
You know, I don't know how Chris Pirillo does it, because Chris Pirillo in all his videos says email me, and he gives out his email all the time, and I mean, maybe it's because I know him, but I'll email him and he'll get right back to me. But I'm like, how do you get back to so many people that you send your email to everybody, you know? And I don't know if I'm a special case, but I have so many different ones that I'll be like, oh, here's my email for Throwboy. Oh, you're my friend. Here's my email for that. You know what I mean? But I don't know. Is that a better way to do it?
Okay, so this is actually a great segue because I want to talk about this. So I've started using VIPs in the new Apple Mail, and this is great. I didn't use it for the longest time. I just let it sit there. Yeah. So this is what I used to do. I would go through each mailbox and just visually scan to see if anyone was there that I needed to reply to, right? So now what I do is if I'm having a conversation with you, well, not you. There's certain people I put as VIPs. So I have a VIP section, and then they'll show up with a little like 1, 2, or 3, however many emails I have from you. But then if I'm having a conversation with someone via email and I'm expecting a reply to them, I'll click on their email address, add them to VIPs, so that when their reply comes in, I can see that it's there. And that's what I do now instead of scanning through everything. And then when I'm done having a conversation with them, I just take them out of VIPs. Problem solved, and go back to just having them be with the rest of the emails that I get. That has worked really well for me.
Good.
VIPs actually, it integrates via iCloud. So when you're using the Mail app on your iPhone, there's the VIP section is on your iPhone too. So that has really worked. That's really helped a lot. The only other thing that has still been a problem for me, and actually I'm curious what you do. So like there's different ways to set up your email. Like there's IMAP, and there's POP, and I'll explain the differences for those of you that don't know. IMAP means that when you check your email on your phone, if you delete it from your phone, it's also deleted from your email account. So if you use Gmail and you check your Gmail account on your iPhone, you probably have IMAP because they set that up by default. So you see an email, you read it, it's marked as read on line 2, you delete it on your iPhone, Gmail deletes it too. So your phone and your online account stay in sync. I use POP. So do you not use POP?
Hell no.
So POP is...
It's just because you're a data hoarder.
So POP is all my emails come in, and the server doesn't sync with my phone at all. So, if I delete an email on my phone, it's still on the server. It's still on my computer. And I don't know why I did it that way. Oh, I know why. Because when I read an email on my computer or on my phone, I didn't want those emails to be marked as unread on my other devices.
Why?
I don't know why.
There was a reason. Nudge of like.
There was a reason behind it at some point.
So when you get a new message, Airfun, does it go, "You got mail"? Because that's the oldest.
Yours doesn't do
POP
that.
is like the oldest shit in the world.
I know, especially with iCloud, because now with Apple Mail, dude, I mean they do everything for you.
Yeah.
Although I haven't started using my iCloud account. Who uses their iCloud account?
I actually, I can't get my head around how I have quite a few friends that use gmail.com instead of a client, and I'm like, how do you use gmail.com? I'm sure so many people are like, it's because it's awesome, but it's like, is it really awesome, or is it just that you're used to the UI? Because the UI isn't awesome. Like,
no, it's not great. It's powerful, but yeah, it's not. It's not a great UI.
Like I started using, I used to hate the new Mail redesign when they went to Snow Leopard, or I think it was Leopard. But now I really love it because, especially for what I do, where I have like certain situations where I'm developing a new product and I have a long thread of like iterations, it handles that really nicely, where it hides all the stupid crap that's like the past email that you wrote. It
does,
it just folds that in.
It threads the whole thing.
Yeah, it's really nice for that. So I couldn't imagine living out of Gmail. Does
Gmail not do that? I thought they did.
I don't know. Maybe they do now, but I just don't really like having that web interface. Although I do use it when I have to. But I don't know. I'm just not a huge fan of like Google products design. That's all.
Yeah, I'm not either. I like using a client much more. But maybe it's time to revisit, how I'm doing things and see if I'm sure there's a better way of doing it.
I actually didn't even use the archive feature for years, and actually up until like this year.
I still don't really use it all that much.
I use it a lot now when I respond to somebody. I'm like, okay, I responded, the conversation is done, I answer their question or whatever, and then I'll archive it. And I'm like, that feels way better than me having to scan through my email and go, oh yeah, I did reply to that guy. Okay, but I used to just look at if it had the little reply arrow, and that's it.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, if they're not even there, then they're gone.
Yeah.
But if I need to search for something that if I need to get in contact with them, at least it still lives in my archive.
So what is archiving? I understand that you can archive, but I've never really understood what archiving actually does to the emails.
It just puts it in another folder, and it's not in your inbox anymore. But I mean, some people have like subfolders in their archives, so they have like all sorts of crap in there. But I don't really do that. I just have it all dumped into one place. Pretty much responded email is all it is for me.
Gotcha.
But it makes it so much less cumbersome to me than to look at my email and go, oh my god, how much of this is stuff I need to reply to? And if it's not even there, that means I already replied.
Because don't you like, the reason I never delete anything via email is because I'm like, what if I need to refer to that again in 2 years?
Yeah,
right?
but you can archive it.
Yeah.
And, I mean, I don't know. I just don't. I just figure if it's in the cloud,
check
then
that
I'm
out,
fine.
dude.
Yeah, he has 689 unread emails. So that is our.
Usually my threshold is 1,000. Once I get to 1,000, I'm like, dude, I've got to go through my emails.
That's nuts.
But a lot of it's just like crap, you know.
So you can reach him on Twitter.
Actually, I tell people that now. I'm like, you're trying to get a hold of me?
Yeah.
I'll almost definitely see it on Twitter. It's easier than email. Hey, let's move on though, because email is probably putting everyone to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
We're the only ones.
There's this
I think email is an interesting show topic.
Email.com.
Dude, I mean, it was invented by Ashton Kutcher. Everything about it is interesting. So I wanted to talk about Microsoft.
Yes.
The Verge came out with this story this week, and they were talking about how Microsoft hired this they just hired a designer who
Microsoft actually hired.
They just hired him, yeah.
Oh, okay.
So he's working for the Xbox team now.
Cool.
And this guy, I think like a year ago, went on his own, went and rebranded all of Microsoft, their products, to give them like a cool, revamped, like modern look. And he was complaining that Microsoft should have been doing this a long time ago. So I wanted to show these things to you, and then you tell me what you think about them, because this is all the stuff he did for this Microsoft project. Well, he did this for himself, and then it kind of like created a buzz on the internet. So, you ready? You filming it?
Yeah, I thought that you were gonna go to his site.
Oh,
because you're not.
Am I not on his site? Well, whatever, dude. Whatever, brother.
Okay.
So this is his blog. So this little mark right here, that's what he wants the new symbol for Windows to be, or Microsoft, I guess. So he goes through and he examines like all the different branding messages that Microsoft has, blah 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 blah. And then he goes through and he starts like showing what the old Microsoft is, and then what he wants his Microsoft to look like. Dude, does that not look way better?
Looks almost exactly what they just changed it to.
Microsoft?
It doesn't look like that anymore. They changed it already.
Oh, I think this looks much better.
It's pretty darn close.
Hey, you know what I learned today? That's called a ligature. When you connect two letters together.
Really?
Yeah. So anyway, I don't think it looks I don't think it looks similar at all.
Oh, come on.
I don't. I really don't like the new Microsoft font. It's too thin. I don't like it. So the next Microsoft, I like what he did with these letters right here.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, these don't look anything like.
No, that's not it. This is it.
Yeah, I don't think these look anything like. So,
I mean, they're both just
show them yours. That's the new Microsoft.
Mm-hmm.
Then show mine. This is the cool Microsoft.
Okay, keep going.
Okay, so then he goes through and he's like, the Windows thing is confusing. They just need to get rid of this altogether.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, they have all these like I think the Windows brand needs to go away. I honestly think that. I know that it's popular, but it's not cool. So he's introducing these. Yeah, so he's introducing these new shapes, and I think they're really cool. They're really simple. These advertisements look great. And he's using them to like create new product identities. Does that not look cool? That looks awesome.
Yeah.
It really does. It's very iconic too. Like it's very simple, very iconic.
Go up again.
This one?
No, to the all of them.
Oh yeah.
I was examining Surface makes a lot of sense. It's like one solid thing. Windows, it's like two of them. This one, I was like, wait, what's this one? And it's like almost like a pen writing on it.
And to me, it looks like a bunch of products integrating together.
Okay.
So
there you go.
I don't know, but I think it definitely looks cool.
It looks so far like, I don't know if it's the presentation
That's
of how
awesome.
of how he's doing it, but it looks more like when we were just on, which is the mail thing, where like this is what cool companies look like now.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
They have this kind of cool website feel to them. But anyway, keep going.
Okay, another great idea. Like he's like scratched the whole Windows Phone thing, right? And he wants to like homogenize their tablets and their phones. So he's like the Surface tablet and the Surface phone, because I think the Surface is a cool brand.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Right? Like, and what's Windows Phone like?
Hold on.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Okay.
And
kill Balmer.
Kill Balmer with this. Get a knife shaped like that and kill him with it.
They should have found like a replacement CEO, like some young
They
guy.
should have put Steve Jobs' head on that. So there you go. And then here are like the basic ones. So like Surface Phone, Surface Tablet. There's Windows, and then there's Metro, and then there's Office. And your comment like, oh, well, this is like, his presentation of it. There's no reason why Microsoft couldn't do this.
Yeah, you're right.
Like, I really feel like Microsoft is holding on to these legacy technologies, this legacy branding, and I was not a fan of their rebranding. I thought it's way too simple. This is simple and elegant, but it's also cool. Like, there's something about it that feels very modern to me.
I mean, arguably, I don't know if this... Go up again. Go up. I don't know if this is really that great of an argument anymore, but it's very Apple-y, And I mean, are we in that? Are we in the what do you call it? The time period where everything kind of looks advertised-wise looks Apple-y? I don't know. Maybe. But like that font reminds me so much of Apple font and like how they have like little taglines with a period, little tagline, period. They always do that. It
seems like a very interesting mixture to me between like Apple and Samsung. Like it has that sci-fi element of Samsung, and still, the great design of
Actually,
Apple.
it does feel a little bit.
That's really cool, dude. Look at that.
It does feel a bit more sci-fi. I know what you're talking about, rather than Apple over here, which is a little bit more friendly.
Yeah, it's like.
They usually have a little bit more
human
and like personality to theirs. But Microsoft's never been that, so maybe it is actually a good fit for them. Microsoft's never really been.
They've never had that.
They've been more techie.
Yes, exactly.
But I do think one of their big problems is getting a clear, like your parents can understand their product line type of thing, like Apple has. Apple. It's like we have the Mac, we have the iPod, we have the iPhone, we have the iPad, And Microsoft, it's so hard to tell, like, what are they actually putting out that are products? A lot of people don't even know that they have their own hardware and that they're pushing their own hardware,
Dude, speaking of which, there's a rumor that Microsoft is trying to buy Dell. We're going to talk about that in a sec. Oh, dude, look at this. Okay, this guy just articulated something that I have not been able to articulate. I don't like the Windows tiles. I think they're hideous. And his suggestion was that the colors just needed to be redone. So scroll down to this. These actually look really good to me.
Just the color?
Yes, just changing the colors and the fonts actually. I think these look fantastic. Like, I don't really like this one, but this one looks really great. This one looks good. This one looks good. Like, he just made subtle improvements to this, and I think this looks great.
Have you seen the new advertisement for IE? How they're trying to get people to
I don't think so.
Rediscover or like give IE a chance. I saw it on Flipboard. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Go ahead and keep.
So anyway, we were talking about before the show. Roberto was like, "You always dog on Microsoft, dude."
Yeah, and I was like, dude, you're getting a Dell.
Let me be very clear.
They're actually going to hire Airfon to do, dude, you're getting a Dell.
Dude, you're getting a Dell.
He has the most famous
I like Microsoft
voice in the biz.
They're a great place to work. They make money. They're a wonderful company. I'm rooting for them. They're just so mired in all these old design elements and all these old technologies that are still making them a lot of money.
Yeah.
They need to, as Apple does, they need to kill the baby. And by that I mean, like, they need to take a product that might be popular but isn't great anymore and just do away with it and come up with something better. Apple does this all the time. Like, they're not afraid to kill off a great product if they come up with something better. I guess Windows actually just did that with the new Windows 8 software, but the problem is that it's not better. Most people don't like it, that I've talked to anyway.
Yeah, it's kind of confusing. I mean...
Super, super confusing.
I think that this will be interesting to see what happens. It's just hard to see it coming out as a clear vision because Microsoft is so committee based. They never just like try and go whole hog on one thing unless it's
they're almost too democratic.
The Xbox team is the only one that's ever broken through to be able to do that.
Well, interesting thing, the Xbox team is actually who hired this kid.
Really?
Yeah, so that's where he's going. So if the Xbox team branding changes dramatically and starts looking really cool, I mean, dude, we're gonna see a new Xbox. My guess is within the next 12 months. They're gonna at least announce
a new Xbox hardware.
I think so. Yeah, the Xbox 360 is 8 years old now. Nintendo just came out with their new system. PlayStation is not gonna want to let Microsoft beat them to the punch again. So I think PlayStation is gonna try and come out with the PlayStation 4 as fast as possible. Mm-hmm. And we're definitely seeing a new Xbox in the next 2 years. No question in my mind. But I would be pretty surprised if we didn't see it this year.
But do you really feel like Microsoft will really throw out the playbook and really go for a new brand?
I think if there's any brand they could do it with, it would be Xbox.
And they just did a rebrand.
Yeah, but it's a new system, new everything. Like, there's no holds barred when they come out with the new system, right? Because they can redo everything. Yeah. They can redo all the icons. They can redo, all the branding for Xbox itself. Uh-huh. I hope they redo the dashboard, too, because I'm not a fan of that. But, hey.
Well, it's a tile right there, right?
Yeah, it's a tile-based system. And it looks kind of bootylicious.
This is kind of interesting,
right.
And it goes with what we're talking about. This is them.
You might not remember us.
I don't.
But we met in the 90s.
We did? What's that?
We are members of Generation Y. As in yin-yang. Yo-yo. Life moved a little slower. Discs were square. Desktop folders had personality. Extra storage space was just a zipper away.
That's still true for you.
There was only one social network. But most of your friends died of dysentery. The only thing buzzing in your pocket was a pet. Until that died too. But at least the troll was still a friend. Lunch was a puzzle, not a picture. You were pumping jams, water, shoes. You didn't have to worry about a newsfeed full of farm animals. You were busy feeding wild animals. A haircut didn't cost $60. It cost 4 minutes. You really had nothing to lose. Unless, of course, you were playing for keeps. The future was bright. You grew up. So did we.
That was terrible. Awful.
Why was it awful, Airflow?
It's like they're like, what can we do? This is just marketese, right? Some marketing guy. Hey. He's had a ton of coffee. Hey, what can we do to engage the Generation Y demographic? Hey, we need to engage them. And they're like, okay, let's come up with everything that we think was cool from the 90s. Remember those bracelets? Those were cool. Tamagotchis?
Yeah. He's pacing around the table.
So, the entire thing, first of all, that was way too long. Mm-hmm.
But it felt long. It was 1 minute, 41 seconds.
Really? Because it felt like 12 minutes, 55 seconds.
It felt like the whole 90s.
Yeah. It felt like the entire 90s. And I felt like they were just cramming stuff that you may have liked in the 90s into commercials. So you're like, hey, man, this is actually pretty cool. Like, I identify with that stuff.
Yeah.
I like the slap braces.
Now I'm going to go use IE.
Yeah, now I want to use IE.
Yeah.
And then they're like, you grew up and so did we. So I'm like, so you're saying it's for old people.
Yeah.
IE for old people. Like it's always been. IE has always been for old people, and it still is.
I'm actually really surprised that they... we've talked about this before, that they've held on so hard to Internet Explorer as their main browser.
That's my point.
Brand.
Kill the baby.
Like especially since it's so fucking fragmented. Well, like, what is Bing then? Like, why are you guys so dead set on trying to make Bing this own unique brand? And then you have IE. Like, just make Bing the browser or something, or just make one new thing the browser. And then the search is in there. But why are you trying to make Bing like a destination site that you're going to go hang out at, like Yahoo or whatever? And IE is... that is such a tarnished brand. I mean, it's ubiquitous with getting viruses on your freaking computer back in the day, right?
Yeah, and being slow.
People jumped ship and went famously to Firefox. Even like, you know, your parents' computer had Firefox on it. Yeah. And then Chrome did a really good thing, but they had to build up the brand like recognition with Google. They had to build up the trust with people liking Google to be able to roll out their own God, I can't talk today. Their own browser, and then everybody wanted to use it.
Yeah.
Right? But and then their commercials were all about our browser's fast, use it. Not this thing, not like we're cool, you know, and you're supposed to like
I don't understand, what that commercial was supposed to do besides annoy me. It's like you're just talking about all this stuff that used to be cool in the 90s. Mm-hmm. And you're saying that you know me and that we've both grown up and now I should use it.
They know
it was
you.
Terrible. Terrible.
What would this guy think of it?
This guy, he would have just shot himself. And he would be embarrassed for himself and for Microsoft right now. Wow. This guy would have come up with something cool. I feel like with Microsoft, maybe it's because they're in Seattle and Redmond, and there just aren't a lot of cool advertising agencies out here. I don't know. That's just a guess.
Yeah.
But I feel like they have a very serious branding problem. Like, whenever they try to be cool, it looks like they're trying to be cool instead of them just being cool. Does that make sense?
Well, we've talked about that. Yes. Remember when we showed the friends going through Microsoft campus? Like Rachel and Chandler? Yes. Remember that? Like, that is so them. Microsoft is almost, they've just never been cool. They've always been lame. And they've always just been that thing that you had on your computer and that you had to use, right?
Yeah.
But now they're trying to transition to now we're in a world where getting cool hardware has become like what's selling things, right? Rather than it just being just software on every computer. Mm-hmm. Their business model is kind of just fallen by the wayside, especially things with things like Android, right? So now they're in a world where they actually branding really counts for their brand, and it's not doing them very good justice, you know?
It really isn't. I mean, it just goes to show when you look at Apple and you see how clean and well polished they are, they have some kind of magic there, you know, like it's so difficult to do that.
But that's always been in their DNA.
You know, I think it hasn't. I've looked at older Apple stuff and I'm like, they weren't always this cool. Well, like some of their products, especially like their advertisements and stuff, used to be just as nerdy as this.
I think that it's always been in Steve's. It's been for the most part in Steve Jobs' DNA.
Yes, I agree with that.
And Steve Jobs has only really been at the helm in the beginning for like a short period of time, and then of course famously when he came back. But if you judge Apple in the mid '90s, they were lame because they didn't know what the hell they were doing for years, right? So
I feel like
taste has been in their DNA.
I think Taste was in Steve Jobs' DNA. Yeah,
Steve Jobs' DNA.
Things started getting really cool again after the first iPod, I feel like. Then it kept just getting cooler and cooler and cooler. Now it's like, oh my gosh, man.
Right.
Their whole website is just svelte.
But Taste has never been in Bill Gates.
But Bill Gates is not even there. And then there's Steve Ballmer, dude. I think I wrote a piece on Cult of Mac. No. We did a Cultcast about this, and I was like, can Microsoft be cool while Steve Ballmer is still there? Mm-hmm. And for at least to me, like your brand, especially in this kind of market, needs to be cool.
Yeah,
it needs to be cool. And Steve Ballmer is so uncool that I'm like, they really need to find someone who's not like faux cool. Like he's not going to come out with a Justin Bieber haircut,
like that one or a CEO.
Yeah,
from Qualcomm.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's so bad.
You're not gonna get very many cool CEOs though, dude. I mean, I think maybe the next cool CEO is gonna be
Tim Cook's cool.
It's gonna be in years. I think it's gonna be like when we're like 10 years from now, when Kevin Rose is like 50 and he becomes CEO.
Do you think he's gonna be cool when he's 50?
Yeah, he will be. I think he could be cool.
Yeah,
but maybe I don't know. It's gonna be hard because I mean. There's no comparing to Steve Jobs. I mean, like Zuckerberg's young. He's like younger than us, but he's not cool, you know?
He's definitely not a cool dude.
Yeah, so that's hard in tech. It's hard to be the cool. Steve Jobs was a total rarity.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
He was an anomaly. Yeah, for sure.
To be tech cool, you know, he was the first guy.
let's talk about just real quickly. So Wall Street Journal is reporting that Microsoft is in talks to buy Dell and then take the company private, which is crazy. Because if you think about it, Microsoft is coming out with their own hardware now, and it's like, I think they're starting to get it. They're like, we cannot compete unless we control our hardware and our software. So still a rumor. No one knows if this is true, but
that would be
that
really
be crazy?
Interesting. Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, yeah,
because Dell's not a cool brand either.
But I mean,
it used to be.
If you think about it, though, like Microsoft has they have all the pieces to be able to do like the killer.
And they have the money.
The home run, right? They really do. I mean, you know, it used to be we would look at hardware companies to compare to Apple, like Sony. We're like, well, Sony's really sick. But it's like at the end of the day, you were running whatever it was back then, like Windows 2000 on these cool looking Sony laptops. But like push all that away. If Microsoft starts to make cool hardware and they have their software on it and it's actually good and it integrates with stuff that we want to do.
I mean, they're already doing it. Look at the Xbox.
It could be a great consumer brand. It could be a really great consumer brand, and something that Google could never do because that's just not them, you know.
Yeah, that's true.
At least Microsoft at this point is faux cool. Google is not cool, right? Android is cool to geeks, but Android is not cool to.
I don't think Android's that
people,
great either.
You know?
Yeah, I think Android is kind of a great alternative operating system, but
I mean, to me, it's like a Linux. It's like, it's the way that Linux is cool to geeks, and geeks will like kill you if you say that Linux isn't cool, right?
And I think that it can be made to be cool. Like the Samsung Galaxy phones, like have utilized Android in a really nice way, so that makes it feel cool. But I don't think Droid is cool at all.
Yeah, I mean, it's just it is Linux, right? It's just whatever people want it to be. So.
Yeah. Hey, let's move on to our last story of the day. I feel like this whole show has just been filled with tangents.
Well, this I was going to make a nice clean segue into our next one when I was talking about how Steve Jobs was one of a kind.
Oh, you were trying to segue there?
No, but it felt like it.
Oh.
But you interrupted me.
Now, I actually haven't watched this yet. I watched like the first 10 seconds, and then I had to do something else. I forget what happened.
God, you're so ADD.
So,
okay.
What? What are we doing?
So, okay. Yes, the other day I was browsing Kickstarter. So I was browsing Kickstarter because I'm doing some Kickstarter research. I'll hear about that.
More on that later.
But anyway, I typed in Steve Jobs, and I found this little number. So
and I didn't see your text until hours later, but you texted me. You're like, OMG, are you home? You've got to watch this right now.
I was by myself trying to contact all the people who I would think this was funny because I was dying of laughter. So I want you to watch it.
Is this only 10 seconds long?
No, it's 3 minutes long.
Okay.
We might watch the whole thing.
Okay, well,
disclaimer.
We got some good lulls.
Okay.
Do you think this is self-written?
Listen to the lyrics.
Wow.
To do early in life.
This
Ross and I started out in my parents' garage when I was 20.
I wonder if the song's available on iTunes.
I hope so. Wait, this is the best part.
Sometimes life's gonna hit you in the head with a brick. Don't lose faith. I'm convinced that the only thing that kept me going was that I loved what I did.
When the hell are they gonna get to the product? Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs.
All right.
Steve Jobs.
Steve Jobs.
I wonder if A+K listened to this to get pumped up before he did his acting for it.
Oh, it's not over.
Your work is going to fill a large part of your life, and the only way to be truly satisfied is to do what you believe is great work. And the only way to do great work is to love what you do.
Look how uncool he is right there. Wow. Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs.
Steve Jobs.
I like how it's just the lyrics.
Oh, this is what they wanted to do.
Oh, okay. Here's the product.
Oh, I didn't get to read the whole thing.
Sparachisis godenta.
Well.
So, are they going to show the statue or?
So that.
Oh, it ended.
This is literally my favorite Kickstarter I've ever seen. Unfortunately, if you can believe it, it actually didn't make its goal. Focus here. Focus.
That's sad.
They were gonna try to raise $5,350.
I still don't know for what.
They raised $15.
Thanks, Mom.
One backer.
See, if this was Indiegogo, he would have got the $15. At least that would have paid for his time to make the video.
So they wanted to make a bronze Steve Jobs statue that was 10 inches tall. So they were going to make 500 of these little Steve Jobs statuettes. And I just think the song is so funny. I think the presentation of it is so funny. Like, the idea of it, maybe some people might want to buy that. But the presentation of it, like, it's just so silly. It feels like a Portlandia, you know, when they do videos like that.
It's like auto-tuned Steve Jobs music.
It totally feels like a SNL type of digital short or something like that. So it made me laugh so hard. And then you go down here, and there's actually this is supposed to be like the explanation of it. So.
Oh, okay.
But this is even funnier.
Began with an idea to honor Steve Jobs,
Maybe not
an
funnier.
American icon. Drawings were made and the final design was settled upon. The next step in the creation process is to form a clay model.
I was playing with this silly putty.
The molds. Once the molds are finished, then the molten bronze will be poured.
It's like a stock photo.
Yeah. Then this guy with the mask stares at a screen too closely.
The end result is a bronze work of art
that looks like plastic.
For very many years to come.
Oh, that's what it's going to look like.
The rough design of this commemorative bronze. We have joined forces with an incredibly talented sculptor to depict the very essence of Steve Jobs in this statue. He is captured perfectly in this iconic
John
pose,
E. Ivan.
a facial expression like that of a proud father and his child.
That looks like the founder of McDonald's.
Engraved beneath his feet, reminding us to live by this motto.
It did. It looked like Ray Kroc, dude.
Steve Jobs' commemorative bronze statue is limited to only 500 castings.
What do you know that guy?
Numbered and come with a signed certificate of authenticity. Immediately after the 500 statues have been cast, the mold will be destroyed, and no further statues.
Oh, missed opportunity. Okay.
Have risen in
bar chart. That's how you know they're getting serious.
We expect nothing less when this is completed, especially since this is the one and only commemorative bronze of its kind in the entire world.
It's funny how when people think that
complete the dream by donating to this Kickstarter campaign.
It's funny that people think that just because something is limited that it's going to increase in value.
And for those of you who
I could give you a limited edition turd if you give me 10 minutes. I'll head to my bathroom. Not going to be worth any more in 5 years.
It's like when you're doing a Kickstarter, I mean, especially now, we already know like kind of the landscape of what Kickstarter videos should look like, right?
Yeah.
They should have some heart to it. They should kind of give you
definitely had heart.
A reason to like, you know, relate to the person that's going to want to make this for you. This has none of that. It has like a voiceover guy has like stock photos of people like next to pie charts. It gets a lot of crap wrong. It says think differently.
Think differently. I noticed that too. Think differently.
I mean, it's just amazingly funny to me. I think it's so funny. Like, what is this? Like, Steve Jobs is wearing a jetpack.
Like, it's an H2O powered jetpack. Is that the sculptor?
I haven't gone this far.
And then that video is some guy from that looked like a scene from Weekend at Bernie's.
Oh, you can get a commemorative coin.
Oh, that's cool.
So I thought this was just hysterically funny.
You know, I don't mean to poke fun at the guy because I'm sure he had good.
No, I do. Dude, if you
he's obviously a fantastic songwriter.
You put yourself out there and you have that, it's so funny. It's silly. It's like, come on.
It is. I feel like if that would have gotten press before it ended, it's so bad that actually might have gotten funded.
Oh, for sure. And there's part of it that's like, okay, he must have not really
maybe that's what he was going for.
Put it out there very hard. And like I said, maybe the guy behind it could have made a better video, but like the presentation is funny as hell. I'm not saying anything really about the idea. The idea is like
presentation,
not so bad. I mean, it's like whatever. I think people would buy it, but like the presentation is hilarious.
Although, he would probably get sued by Steve Jobs' family.
That's true. If you want to find this, you can go to Kickstarter and look up Steve Jobs. I think it's on the last page. So,
Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs.
The shepherd and his sheep. So.
I know, that was the part about it. I was like, they were showing like Moses and stuff. I'm like, dude.
You may think it's Moses, but.
It's just Steve Jobs. He parted the Red Seas. Oh, hi. Meet my dog, Penny.
What was the other one? Penny. It was, what's the other lyric I like to say about Steve Jobs? Oh, the one that's like, his something is a beating drum, and it's made out of plastic and aluminium.
Oh, probably his heart. His heart is a beating drum.
Well,
oh my gosh, dude. Let's wrap up this train.
Alrighty.
Let's wrap this train up. I'm tired.
So, Airfun, if anyone wanted to find out more about you...
You know, a great way to do that would be to follow me on Twitter. It's a website that I use fairly often.
It's a new website.
It's a new website that I recently discovered, and I'm at Airfon, ERFON on Twitter. And, of course, if you haven't listened to the Cultcast and you found us, maybe through Roberto, maybe you're a Throwboy fan, check us out. Search iTunes for the Cultcast, little Apple podcast that I do. What about you?
I am on Twitter as well. It's just Roberto Hoyos, RobertoHoyos. And you can follow Throwboy on there. It's just at Throwboy. And, I think that's it.
Yeah. And, of course... User Friendly is on YouTube. If you're having problems downloading, maybe you just want to watch us on your TV. We actually have people that do that. They download us on iTunes and watch us on their Apple TVs. That's kind of scary to think.
I think we might be on Roku because I checked the Roku box. If any of you guys watch us like that, let us know.
And if you've been watching since day one, thank you.
We're sorry.
You're a masochist.
Yeah.
And let us know who you are. Maybe tweet at us or something. So that's the other thing. If you aren't subscribed to our podcast, please do that in iTunes. Just search for User Friendly. Look for us going like this.
Yep.
And look for the big green text. That'll be us. All right, I think that's it.
All right.
Happy yearly episode. Did I just spit all over you?
No.
Sorry. And we will see you guys... next week.